Oh yeah, it's that time. It's guilty pleasure time. Okay. I'm going to be upfront and I'm going to say to you that 95% of guys, upon smelling this fragrance, will turn around and walk away muttering something like, "It's for a woman, Leggy. I don't want to smell that." And if you're in that 95%, that will only wear something like, I don't know, Savage, Blood of Chanel, and that sort of style fragrances, that are obviously masculine fragrances. And perhaps you've sort of delved into the 1 million, that's probably the closest you've ever got to a unisex fragrance. Maybe I'll never convince you that you can wear a ridiculously sweet, feminine leaning fragrance and get away with it. But if you're in that sort of 5% and you're thinking, maybe Leggy's right, then stick around. Okay, this fragrance is made by Uncle Pierre. You know what? I have so much love and respect for my Uncle Pierre. He's a crazy guy. In fact, I googled him recently and I thought, man, he looks A, very 1980s, and B, very French. I love the guy to bits. His fragrances are all extreme. He doesn't do things by halves, and that's probably why I like him. If he puts oud in a fragrance, it's obviously oud. If he puts vanilla, it's obviously vanilla. You know what? You don't have to sort of think, I wonder what that note is. Uncle Pierre loads these fragrances with so much oils. Okay. Don't run a mile, guys. This is, and I can't hardly focus it because it's late and the light's not good, and it's guilty pleasure time, so we have to have the lights down. It is called OUDMAZING, and you know what? That's the only thing that's bad about this fragrance. It's a real cheesy name, OUDMAZING. Okay, Uncle Pierre, I'm not criticising you, but it's not the greatest of names, is it? The fragrance, though, is possibly one of his best ever creations. Okay, so let's pull the pin out of the grenade, spray it, and let's have a chat about it. All right, I can appreciate why an awful lot of guys would turn around and walk away. It is incredibly fruity. It is incredibly sweet. And it does remind me of a female fragrance, which is a very popular female fragrance. We'll come to that in a minute. Okay, so why do I, as a guy, wear, rate, love, and just can't get enough of this fragrance? Reason number one, it's made by Uncle Pierre. Fantastic reason. Reason number two, it's nice and loud. It makes its presence known. Reason number three, I love fruits. And reason number four, the vanilla. It's vanilla, which only Uncle Pierre knows how to do. All right. You're going to get like a mushy mix of very ridiculously almost overripe fruit. There's a little bit of fig there. I think there's some apple. It feels like there's a few of the berries, blackberry, cranberry. It feels like that. I don't know exactly what fruits are in there, but it's like getting some fruit and literally sort of smashing it up your nose. This fruit literally abuses your nose in a good way. Okay. In amongst the mix is some Ode. Now, when people hear about Ode, they'll turn around and run. Don't run. The Ode is neither skanky, it's neither medicinal, it's neither offensive. The Ode adds to the beauty of this fragrance. It does not detract or scare you or anything else, right? The Ode is super smooth, and in the mix, it's kind of, if you didn't know it was Ode, you just assume it was a sort of a slightly woody twist, this fragrance. I don't know what to say about it. I get emotional when I wear this, and the reactions I get off the scale. You've got some patchouli, which adds to the sweetness again, and at the base you've got vanilla. The vanilla, like I say, is Uncle Pierre's ultimate vanilla. Performance. Let's get the performance out of the way. All Montales, all of Uncle Pierre's fragrances are phenomenal performances. Ridiculously oily. I mean, even in the dark, I can just see it glinting off my skin. They last a mighty long time. When you buy a Montale, whichever one you buy, you do not have to trouble yourself about the performance. They all go pretty much all day. This particular one, OUDMAZING, sorry, I've got to keep smelling it. It's an addictive fragrance. Right, this one, for the space of about 3.5 hours, it's big. Okay, you walk into a room and people in that room, everyone in that room will smell it. Okay, after 3 hours, it drops down to a scent bubble, about a half arm's length scent bubble. And you think at some point, you think, oh, it's finished, it's gone. This stuff doesn't give up. When you warm up, say you sat there and you think, oh, it's gone, I'm not getting it. The moment you stand up, the moment you start moving around, the moment your body just warms up a smidgen, it's on fire again. Okay. Performance, you do not have to worry, right? It will entertain you, it will please everyone around you all day long. Okay. The smell. Now, the smell is the sticky wicket I'm going to suggest for most guys. It does lean very much towards a feminine fragrance. I think it is pulled back by the Ode and the vanilla, because I think with that amount of fruit, and the fruit is glorious in this one, the fruit is just probably the ultimate fruit of any fragrance. If it didn't have the Ode and if it didn't have the vanilla, I would say, yeah, I would agree with guys, it's too much of a feminine fragrance. But the Ode and the vanilla pull it back to being unisex. And you know what? Uncle Pierre made it, marketed it, sold it as unisex. I'll go with Uncle Pierre. For me, my Uncle Pierre is an absolute legend. What a guy! How does his brain keep thinking up all these crazy, wacky, amazing fragrances? And even though they're wacky and crazy, they're all amazing. Man. Okay. Here's the crazy thing. If your partner or your wife or your girlfriend or even your mistress wears the very famous Lancôme Belle, you're not going to smell much different from her. Because I mean, a few of the girls at work wear Belle, and I always pick it up because it projects nicely. This is almost like a unisex version of Belle. Okay. So guys, I'm going to say to you, wear this with confidence. All right. I was at a function recently, and halfway through this function, I had to go up to the front, do a presentation, and then come back. And a colleague of mine who was sat in the audience, he said, Leggy, the moment you stood up, the moment you walked up the front, the moment you came back, he says, all that time I could smell you. And it was a fairly biggish sort of room. Okay. Performance projection, the reaction from people is amazing. The only thing that could hold a guy back from, all right, I'm going to say as a woman, as a woman, trust me, you will love this fragrance, especially if you like La Belle. This is a nice sort of twist on La Belle, okay? As a guy, the only thing that could hold you back from wearing this gorgeous, amazing, show-stopping fragrance would be yourself. If you lack that confidence, put it on and wear it with confidence. My rules say, if you enjoy it, if it works good on your skin, then wear it. And it works for me. And I'm going to suggest that it will work for you as well. Okay? When this does a dry down, I mean after sort of 4 or 5 hours, the vanilla is almost a bigger player as the fruits. And at that point it's 100% unisex. But up until that point, I can understand why you may say it's for a woman. Ask me if I'm bothered. Does this face look at all bothered? No. Let's put the pin back on the grenade. I really appreciate you coming to this channel. I am just a crazy random guy. You know what? I'm not monetized, I'm not sponsored, I don't get free samples. Every fragrance that I review, I bought with my own hard-earned money. And every fragrance that I review, I wear day after day, so I can tell you about the performance, I can tell you about the smell, and I can tell you what to expect. All right, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you putting up with me and my silly stories and my silly reviews. I would love a thumbs up. A lovely thumbs up. And I'd love to see you next time. I'm off to bed now, so I'm going to love you and leave you, but in the meantime, you've got to stay safe and you've got to choose a good fragrance and wear it every single day. Every single day. Don't miss a day, every day. Good night and goodbye.